Welcome everyone to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. So, Comic-Con is over for another year, and lots of... It's always a strange time for me because, like, Comic-Con, you get movie trailers and all that stuff, and none of that stuff happened this year because of the actors' strike and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not going to go into because that's a whole other realm of YouTuber that does that kind of stuff. But it's a weird one because anytime Comic-Con's coming up, I'm really excited because you get more reveals of this kind of stuff back here, like Legends, G.I. Joe's, Star Wars, stuff in my wheelhouse to say. But you also, it's also a great feeling because it's also a terrible feeling because there are so many other lines that are shown, and it's like I was saying to my friend the other day, it's like, it's great, but it's terrible because you know that they're going to show so much amazing stuff that you know in your little heart and soul that you were never, ever going to own unless you win a lot of jackpot or something like that, or you sell an amazing invention or something crazy like that. So with that, this video is going to be about my highlights from SDCC. If I don't show something, that means I'm either not interested in it or I can't afford it and I don't collect it. So it's not as if, like, I won't be showing Mayfix here because, like, they are amazing figures and I would love them, but I can't afford them, so I'm not going to cover them. So yeah, I'm just going to go through my highlights of Comic-Con bit by bit and show some reveals and stuff and pictures that I've gotten. And yeah, so, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on all the stuff I show as well, and tell me what you've got, what you pre-ordered, what you haven't got, what you haven't pre-ordered, and yeah, just get involved with the video and have a bit of fun with this one. So yeah guys, here we go. So first off, I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about the Jada toys showing, and the Street Fighter line is like top of my wants list at the moment. I think all of Wave 1, all of Wave 2 pre-ordered with Star action figures, and I'm still waiting for them to come. I know they don't ship until everything's in stock, I think, or something like that. But yeah, I'm waiting for them to come. They did show Wave 3, which included these guys, Cammy, Guile, and for the first time in history, there's going to be a DJ figure. Now, when Sota Toys did Street Fighter years and years ago, they did get to the stage where I think they showed a prototype for a DJ figure, but never got to release it. So that is really cool. We're getting a DJ figure to go along with. Also, you've got Dalsim, Bison, Ken as well in the next wave, coming out from Wave 2. Chun-Li is starting to appear in the States in certain places as well. And what was interesting is Jun, the guy over, or Jun, whatever, the guy over Jada Toys said they actually expect by this time next year they will have the whole roster of Super Street Fighter done, which is mightily impressive. And considering they've 9 of them done already, I don't see that as unrealistic either, and they will move on to Super Street Fighter, or Street Fighter Alpha then after that. And they did show these cool cyberpunk figures as well. This line was kind of teased the last couple of months in live streams and stuff. And these have really good soft goods. So I do wonder what kind of prices they'll be talking on these. And of course, this is Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the anime show that's been on, not the video game, although it's of the same video game, obviously. But yeah, and they did show some Mega Man figures, more Mega Man figures as well. I don't know half of them, but they're fucking cool. They're so cool. I'd love to get loads of them. But yeah, I'd love, especially the main Mega Man in Wave 1. I would love to pick him up whenever I can find him. So yeah, that's my Jada Toys thing. Street Fighter, I want them all. And I will probably try my best to get them all. So yeah, on to the next one. And of course, what I was saying earlier, this brings me on to NECA toys. So I don't collect NECA toys, so to speak. I've got a small like TMNT animated collection. I've got about 20, 25, 30 of them. I know that's small. The reason I say small is that's a lot, but they've released so many since I stopped, and I just wanted the core villains and the core heroes, and they've just gone so deep into that line They've done the neutrinos, the big robot guy. And in this Comic-Con, they showed off a giant Krang from that, I think it was one of the first episodes, where he was like, grew to the size of the Technodrome. And NECA are just killing it with that line. They all, like, also, I don't collect The Last Ronin because I've never read it. I do plan to read it, but The Last Ronin figures, the Mirage figures, and they've got TMNT Secrets of the Ooze figures now as well, and NECA are just blowing it out of the water. And of course they do have the gargoyles, which I've not released over here yet. I do have a Goliath, and he's quite big, so I probably wouldn't have a whole lot of room for a whole line of them as much as I would like them. But they continue to do those, stuff like Xanatos and the Robot Gargoyle, and loads of other stuff coming for that as well. Yeah, so NECA Toys kicking arse at this year's Comic-Con. I always watch their walkthroughs that like the Pixel Dan and stuff do, and the Foosh. And I always watch their walkthroughs, and they're always incredible watching all those figures. And of course they've got the Universal Monsters ones as well that I keep forgetting. So yeah, NECA Toys, my thoughts, I love them, but I can't collect them because there's just too many. But I absolutely love them. And speaking of like old 80s toy lines, old 80s cartoons that I love, Thundercats was another one. And following on from their sale of the Thunder Tank, Super7, who I'm not the biggest fan of, did release pictures. Well, they showed off their brand new Thundercat lair, which is absolutely huge. 36 inches tall and 29 inches wide, $650, and they're looking for 5,000 backers for that, for this thing, and that's a lot of money for that. 650 probably isn't too bad, but the fact that they're looking for 5,000 backers, 5,060, yeah, it's a lot of money. But this thing is huge, and some of the, like, they had it out on the floor, and it just looked incredible. The scale to what the 7-inch figures, tiny inside it. My problem is, like, that I could probably live in that thing. It's probably bigger than my house. So yeah, like, as much as I like that, it's really, really cool, but way out of my price range. And I literally have one Super 7, which is Lino, and I promised myself I wouldn't go deep into that line because of how expensive they are. And yeah, but if this, I can see it funding because it's huge, and like, it's a once-off. If you're a Thundercats fan, obviously you had to pay the money for the Thunder Tank already, but you're never going to get stuff like this again, and you're not going to get it at retail because retail doesn't work. Yeah, so yeah, that thing is absolutely massive. It's so cool, but not for me. And speaking of crowdfunded stuff, Hasbro revealed their brand new Star Wars Haslab for the vintage collection, which is of course the ghost from not Star Wars Rebels, but from the new Ahsoka TV series, thus confirming that being in that show as well. And it looks incredible, it has to be said. I think the last time I checked, this is probably way out of date now, was over 3,000 backers, and I think that will sail through and back, no problem, funds no problem. Really cool. It has the whole Ghost crew as well as tiers. I think they finally start listening to the fans as well, unveiling the tiers straight off the bat, which I think they should do in every Haslab. It's a much easier thing to do, and you know then exactly what you're paying for, and I think you get more people will sign up initially. I know you don't get that little kick every time you unveil a new tier, but I think it's better to do it this way. And they did reveal some Black Series figures and other TVC figures as well. Not a load though compared to the other lines, which, speaking of other Hasbro lines, this brings me on to Marvel. So the reveals I was waiting for all leading up to this was the Marvel Legends stuff, and it did not let me down. So the new X-Men 97 cartoon, the follow-on to the 90s X-Men animated series, has its own figure line as well, and they showed off all of those, and I think they're all incredible. You've got Wolverine, Storm, Rogue, Magneto, Gambit, and a new look Bishop, and they look really, really nice. They're not going to go for pre-order until sometime next month, I think, but really, really good. And lots of people were happy with these as well, and I presume they'll do a wave 2 as well, because there's other characters that have not been shown, such as Morph and Jean Grey, and there was other ones as well. But these look great. I really think they will fly off the shelves. Then onto the VHS series, they did reveal a VHS Peter Parker and Alistair Smythe 2-pack. Now, anybody that's watched any 10 most wanted Marvel Legends figures I've done has seen Alistair Smythe on that list really, really high. And I'm just delighted to get him. But also, the animated Peter Parker is a great get as well. So this really makes that 2-pack really cool. Like, the 2-packs so far have been alright. We've had the Black Spider-Man and Carnage, which were both like repaints. Then we had Doc Ock, I think, was it? And Aunt May. Nobody wanted her. And then, of course, we had Mary Jane and Green Goblin. And Green Goblin, again, was a redo, but a different face sculpt. And MJ was pretty much a new MJ. But it wasn't, they're not amazing. They could have been a lot better. No Morbius, no Scorpion. Although Scorpion did come in the retro card wave anyway. And yeah, so very happy with that 2-pack. And I've already pre-ordered it on Hasbro Pulse. Hasbro Pulse is now available, of course, in Ireland. If you're in Ireland, stick with Big Bang Comics, is all I'm going to say. Unless totally necessary, because it is a Pulse exclusive, unfortunately. So also, once we got to the panel itself, they showed off a brand new wave, 5 of which I pre-ordered because I'm a sucker. They showed off a Marvel Knights wave. They started off with disappointment, which was interesting. They showed the black and gold Iron Man from the Midnight Suns video game. And then they showed off Lady Bullseye. They showed off a new Daredevil from the newest comic run, to go with that Elektra from the Spider-Man Retro Series wave. And then they showed off Luke Cage, which has been kind of half confirmed a while back ago. A classic Luke Cage, which is really nice, as you can see here. And then a brand new Blade, which I was buzzing for, absolutely delighted they're doing a new Blade. The last one was terrible and it came in the Netflix wave. It wasn't very good, and it's been so long since that released as well. And then they did the Sorcerer Supreme Clea from the Death of Doctor Strange run, and that's really cool as well. Picked her up straight away. And the Fist Ninja, which is like it's like a hand ninja. And interestingly, if you painted him gold, you could get a really good Marvel Legends Scorpion out of him. He comes with a skull head as well. And of course, the Mindless One, Baff, is interesting because the Mindless Ones are like an army builder. So, and the fact that it looks like a giant piece of poo as well. It's demon poo as well. The fact that it doesn't look great as well. It was an interesting choice. Then they did their usual thing of, after the panel, they have extra figures in the case. They showed a Retro Vision, which is awesome. I want it, I need it, I must have it. They showed a Crystar, someone who I had no idea who he was. I had to ask Jonathan Redmond, my friend, who he was. And then they showed off Power Princess to finish the Squadron Supreme, and she looks fantastic. The best damn Wonder Woman figure I've ever seen anyway, because she looks exactly the same as her. And yeah, it'd be great to finish those, because there is another 2-pack, of course, coming in the coming weeks, months, whenever they decide to drop that. Could be next week, could be next month, who knows. But that's my thoughts for the Marvel Legends panel and figures. I probably won't pre-order a lot of the X-Men figures because I'll have had them before from retro waves and things, but I did like that Tiger Stripe Wolverine. That was really cool. And the one thing I will say about them is all the face sculpts are sort of half animated, half real, and they just look really, really good. Has that sweet spot, I think. Especially Magneto, he looks really creepy. Yeah, so my last one of the day is the next one, which is G.I. Joe. So with G.I. Joe, there was a lot of stuff. So I'm only going to really talk about what I was interested in. A bit shitty, like, but anyway. So yeah, they showed off Tripwire as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I pre-ordered him as well. So this was a very expensive weekend for me. and it's not over yet. Yeah, so Tripwire looks great. There's pictures there, and as you can see, he comes with the drone thing as well, and the rat, which is really, really cool. They showed off a Steel Patrol 2-pack, very, very nice. They confirmed Ripper, Torch, Hawk, Helix, Shock Trooper, all coming, and they all look great. I want all of those. Then they showed the Crimson Strike team, which is Baroness and the Crimson Twins, Tomax and Jamo. I can never say that one right. And they look really, really nice. What the coolest thing they revealed for me though was the Vamp with Clutch, and the fact that they said vehicles are not out of vehicles are a go for retail, more or less. And they didn't even rule out doing the Hiss again with different colors and less accessories at retail, which is crazy. So hopefully we can get more G.I. Joe cars and bikes and what have you. And they did show, of course, the SMS with the Techno Viper as well. That suicide or that missile thing is class. And yeah, they did the Legends thing as well of dropping secrets in the case afterwards, where they dropped Mutt and Junkyard, the dog, who will have 3 different faces. They did confirm Retro Duke, Retro Scarlet, and Python Patrol Copperhead as well. So yeah, guys, like as I said at the start of the video, there is a lot. I could talk for another 2-3 hours about stuff I didn't talk about. Just so much stuff. And as collectors nowadays, we are absolutely spoiled for choice for toys. From our youth, from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even new stuff that we've never had is awesome. Like stuff like this Mythic Legions figure. This isn't new, or this isn't retro or classic. This is a brand new figure line. Well, from the last couple of years, like, but this is incredible. I would have never thought of buying stuff like this before, and that's what I mean. Like, toys nowadays are just brilliant. And also, I forgot, they did show a Transformers Commander series Ultra Magnus as well, which looks amazing, and it's going to take my money as well, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my thoughts from SDCC. Lots of great stuff. I'm going to be broke. WWE showed off loads of cool stuff as well that I haven't even got pictures of. So if you go to Ringside Collectibles, you see all their pictures. Some classic wrestlers, some new wrestlers. Just something for everyone, guys, at SDCC. And I hope you enjoyed, like, going through everyone's videos, and this video included, and everyone's pictures, and just getting involved with the fandom, whether you wanted to bitch about something or laugh about something or say, oh, can't wait for this. Because like, it's funny, because when you're in groups and Twitter and Facebook and stuff, you're like, they're like support groups. I'm after spending a load of money. Oh, so am I. It just brings people together, this kind of stuff. And it's cool that it's only, like, SDCC is only on once a year. You have New York Comic Con in October. I don't think it's as big though. And even though none of us, like, I wasn't there, I only know one person, like, personally, that went. It was still cool to banter in the groups and stuff later on about it, and share pictures and steal pictures. I didn't steal any pictures. Someone else did, and I shared it. Shout out to Dan Who on that one. But yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know what you think in the comments below. And like, share, and do all the lovely stuff you usually do. So thanks fellas. See you later. Tip of the cap to all. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.